Hopefully it's picking up everything. Yep, looks like this time I actually got my mic working, guys. Because last time I didn't have it. Yeah, didn't have that working last time. For some reason. Hold on. Gonna try to clean the lens a little bit. Sorry. I usually have stuff around. Excuse me for a moment. Let me actually... Oh, got a little bit cleaner, guys. Sorry, this light's like terrible. Hang on. It's a little bit better, guys. Sorry about the lighting. I really, in this spot, I can't get a whole lot of good lighting, really. So, sorry about that. Episode, what are we on, 4? 5? 4. So guys, we're on episode 4 right now of our talk show, game thing, whatever you want to call it now, called Weaving the Web. You know what, let me turn off this backlight. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Let me get some light. Actually helped a little bit. So guys, show called Weaving the Web, episode number 4. I am Vash Stampede66. That's my gamer tag. That's my everything. No, not really everything, but close to everything. Maybe not really everything, but you know, that's just what I go by. So, Shield Maiden's out of town right now, along with Grim. They are, I'm cleaning my screen. They are doing their own little thing at the Renaissance Festival thing, I think it was called. I forgot what they are. I'm sure she'll tell you guys in a video or something about it. So yeah, I am here alone, running solo, and my table's covered in kid stuff. So, until I get my setup, hopefully in the next few weeks, about 2-3 weeks, this is kind of what I'm going to have. Let me, again, just want to edit that way. So again, guys, just want to, again, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy what we do, what we talk about. This is a show that recaps a lot of stuff that's going on during the week. You know, we don't catch everything, which hopefully, you know, like our Facebook, we'll be posting more stuff on there, as well as if you have any questions or want to see anything or talk about anything, go in the chat. You know, if there's something that's like, hey, maybe we missed it, and it's like, hey, you know, crap, we missed this, let us know, and we'll be glad to go ahead and be like, hey, we'll talk about it right now with you. You know, we usually pick about 4 or 5 topics and go over them, and usually kind of do a little rant and rave and dancing with your rave. Hopefully the music's not overpowering for anybody, but let me turn that down actually. So yeah, guys, you know, I want to kind of jump into it because there was a lot that went on this week. Actually, these last few weeks, and I kind of missed some of it, so I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about what we can. First, of course, Black Panther has grossed over 1.1 billion in box office worldwide. It is the #1 domestic United States grossing superhero movie of all time at this point. So, you know, awesome. That hopefully shows you that these movies can do a lot, that they hopefully can push beyond like what people consider them, and I hope that, you know, that's where this goes with. And the reason I say all that is because I know, there's my dog, and I know for a fact that a lot of people went to see it just to support the movie it was. So with that being said, you know, hopefully other movies will go that route. Hopefully a lot more will happen because of this. That's kind of what I'm going for, like, because Black Panther brought in a lot of new fans because of the movie it was. So hopefully from now on we'll get more fans, and these fans will stick around and they'll watch Avengers Infinity War, they'll watch the next Spider-Man, the next Doctor Strange, or whatever movie comes out next. So that's a big one that's been talked about over the recent weeks. Another one that's close to my heart, and I wanted to really talk about it because of the fact it's like this is really something I always want to push, and then I'm excited to see Constantine is going to be on a possible season 4 of DC Legends of Tomorrow. He has had 2 episodes that he was in for DC Legends of Tomorrow for season 3. Season 4 has yet to be renewed. The series is still up for renewal though, and if it does get renewed, John Constantine, aka Matt Ryan is the actor, will be reprising his role as our favorite dabbler of the dark arts, I believe he says. So if he, if the season does get picked up, he will be a recurring character, which is awesome for me. I'm a huge fan. If anyone knows me, I'm a huge fan of John Constantine, Hellblazer. It was one of those ones that I randomly picked it up one day, and I remember it was me and my buddy. We went to the comic book shop when we first moved to San Antonio, and we're trying to find things to read. And it was, hey, I'll pick up this one, you pick up that one. And I forgot which one of us picked up Hellblazer, but Hellblazer was one of the first ones we just randomly picked up. And that was about 12 years ago, and ever since I've been a Constantine fan. I love pretty much any storyline he's in, because he is not your typical good guy, but he's not your typical vigilante either. He very much runs that gray area, closer to the dark side, closer to that I'm pretty freaking evil, and that's what draws me to him. Now, on top of this, something came out on March 24th, which, from the state today's the 25th, so it came out yesterday. That was on a app called CWC. CW owns the rights now to stream Constantine, the original NBC show that ran for not even a full season. It was about half a season before it was canceled. They streamed the show on their website, or on their, I think it's on their website, and on their app, or CW app, CW Seed app. They don't actually show it on the CW. It's 2 different things. It's really weird. But the reason I say that is I recommend watching it. If you've never watched Constantine before, you're going to get a good little premise of who he is as John Constantine is in the DC world. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It is short. It leaves you on a cliffhanger, but the fact is the episodes it does play through are really, really good. Then, of course, he is in an episode of Arrow. He meets with Oliver Queen on Lian Yu. So when he was still doing that, I believe it was season 3 or 4. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say 4. He met John Constantine then. He helped bring Sarah Lance back to life. It had to be... Let's be on season 4. He's on season 6. Had to be season 2, actually. I'm sorry. Season 2 or 3, because of the way DC Legends plays out. So, yeah. So, he's on there, and now he's been on 2 episodes of DC Legends of Tomorrow. Kind of hoping it'd be kind of cool to see him mix with the Flash and see how he handles someone with actual superpowers like that. I mean, yeah, you have the Legends who all have powers in a sense, but he really didn't deal. Like, Firestorm was already gone. He didn't, and the other ones have powers because they're totem, which is still magical power, which John is very much used to magic. He's not. Yeah, he's used to superpowered beings too. I mean, he hang out with the likes of like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but again, depending on who it is, he knows how to deal with them. I think it'd be kind of cool if he had some type of spell or something to basically turn off Flash's powers while he's trying to do whatever he is to save the city, in his way, of course. So the reason I bring all this up is now on the 24th, they did release a 1-season, 7-episode, and I want to say 1 season because it's really only all put together about, I figured 34 minutes long, show called Constantine Demons of the City, or Demons in the City, or I'm sorry, I swear I'm going to get it right. It is called Constantine City of Demons. I swear I just watched it and I loved it. So the show is the premise. Basically, it's giving you a backstory of who John is. You don't have, if you don't want to watch this TV show, that's fine. I would strongly recommend, if you just want to get into Hellblazer or into John, watch this, because it's only 34 minutes wasted of your, if you didn't like it, of your life, versus a whole, I think there's about 10 episodes at about 45 minutes each, so 450 minutes. You can break it down from there. How many hours that is, I don't feel like doing the math right now, which is about 5 hours, but still 6 hours. But who's counting. If you don't want to invest that much time, go ahead and see this little CW Seed show. It's only on the CW Seed though. So download the app. You can do it on your computer. Even you can just type in CW Seed. It'll pull it right up, and that's CWSEED, like a plant, like a seed that you put in the ground. And it follows Constantine, and it gives you his origin story. They actually already brought out Chaz, who is supposed to be like his best friend, and they also brought out Nightmare Nurse. Couldn't think of her name. So it's kind of cool that they actually right off the bat they bring out a couple big name characters for him, and they talk right off the bat. They bring out John's inner demons, and they talk about Newcastle, which is kind of what got John started on the whole path that he's on, is from Newcastle. So I recommend definitely checking it out. It's only about, like I said, 34 minutes long. It is something that if you want to try to get into this realm, check it out. And then of course after that I would recommend the movie Justice League Dark. Now the cool thing is about the TV show on NBC, Justice League Dark, and the CW Seed show is they're all voiced and done by Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan to me is John Constantine. He looks like him. He sounds just perfect. When I hear John Constantine, I hear Matt Ryan. And because of the shows, like now it's all I hear. So with that being said, I would recommend checking it out and seeing what's out there. In other news, like I said, we had a lot this week, guys. We had a hell of a lot this week. Let me make sure I have all my little things up for you guys. So we have Hellblazer, we got Black Panther, what else did I say? There's going to be a new Avatar tie-in for the show and in a comic book format, which is kind of cool. So if you are, a reason I always like to touch on everything. Like I always tell people, like this show is about anything and everything, whether it's comic books, video games, etc. Which video games has some new stuff coming out, possibly. On that note, Last Airbender is getting a comic book it's a comic book, I believe, that's gonna hopefully tie in from where the Last Airbender left off to where Korra, I believe I pronounced that right. I probably just butchered it because I never watched all of the Last Airbender. Ties in, so it's gonna kind of bring a tie-in to that bridge. So hopefully that'll be cool. I would recommend checking it out. Check out the show first, definitely, before you try to read the comic book, since it is going to derive from the comic book, the show itself, into The Legend of Korra and everything else. Leading into that note, comic book tie-ins. There's a big one that came out about midweek last week, and it's a comic book tie-in. But the cool thing is, it actually got a trailer for it. And why I say that's cool is because it's a live action trailer. It is called Power Rangers Shattered Grid. This follows the character Lord Draken, who is from another Earth or another dimension, I guess you could say, and who has now decided that he wants to come destroy the Power Rangers and to shatter the entire morphing grid, and basically rule everything. I mean, he is pretty fucking evil. Now, some of you are probably thinking, who the fuck's Lord Draken? And, we've had Lord Zed, we've had Rita, we've had blah, 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 blah. I mean, I honestly don't remember all of them at this point. I really don't. But the reason I say Lord Draken, like, you should know who he is. In fact, we all know who he is. He's Tommy Oliver. Oh, what? No, just kidding. So, Tommy Oliver goes evil. And this is a storyline where Lord Draken is Tommy Oliver. He decided to eventually just go to an evil route instead. And he is pretty much the Green Ranger and the White Ranger mixed together, as well as has, it looks like, Rita's staff. So probably one of the most powerful beings in the entire universe. So the reason it's so cool, though, is a live action trailer has Jason David Frank reprising his role as Tommy Oliver, and coming back as Lord Draken. And it has stuck with what the comic book has shown of him to the T. The veins in his neck, how evil he comes off, how maniacal he sounds. I mean, he gives me chills to see Jason David Frank as like a villain. Like, you don't really get that from him because he's always been the hero, for the last 20 years basically of our lives. He's played Tommy Oliver the hero. Now he's playing Tommy Oliver the villain. And at the end of it, he seems to want to kill all the Rangers because he wants them to understand they could have been gods. It is amazing, guys. I regularly recommend checking out the trailer, seeing the Yellow Ranger in this, not just a suit like they normally wear, but she's in like an actual armor. He's wearing his traditional, looks like a mixture between the Green Ranger and White Ranger uniform, still with the long black hair. I mean, he's perfect looking. I mean, it looked like he stepped right out of the 90s, basically. And I love it because, I mean, you know, we've all aged. He's aged, we've aged, but he still looks good in that one. Shows you a great nod to the makeup that they put on there for him. I'm not saying he's an ugly guy, but just saying that, you know, there's a lot of attention to detail that was used for this. So definitely check out Shattered Grid. It is a comic book series that will be talked about, and hopefully they'll love that one. You know, we'll all love it. And some sad news today, of course. They announced on last Friday that Toys R Us will be closing all of its U.S. stores and UK stores. The UK stores, I believe, are already closed down or about to. Most of the U.S. stores have barely started their liquidation sale. California, I believe, has already gone through most of the liquidation sales, probably at about a 50 or 60% by the time this video is up and showing. But yeah, I mean, they're gone, guys. The only ones that are going to be left, of course, are the Canadian branches, which is about 165 stores, I believe it's stated. So not going to be a whole lot. We're losing like 700 stores, guys. No joke. I mean, this isn't the end of an era. This Toys R Us made up about 50% of the business for all of toys. There has been, on a side note, and maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, there has been a GoFundMe account started to try to help save Toys R Us by a few millionaires put together, trying to buy the entire franchise and take it over. Now, they've raised $200 million with the goal set to be $1 billion. I believe they have, last I read, have ground another few 100,000, maybe a few thousand somewhere too. The majority, of course, being people who are donating $5 to $10. Now, this to me, and after reading quite a few articles, it seems like a waste. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm a 90s kid, or hell, I was born in 86. I'm an 80/90s kid. You know, I grew up with Toys R Us in our life. I grew up going and seeing the giraffe and getting your little Jeffrey dollars, and then switching to electronic gift cards, which, you know, everything's switched over to when eventually. But I remember doing all that. I remember going in there and seeing, like, oh, the toys. Like, your face goes like this, and you're like, oh, voice goes really high, because you're like, Mom, I got everything. So, you know, you do all that, and it's like, oh, I almost messed up my voice. I was trying to push it. I should have just kept going instead of, like, trying to hold it back. Anyway, the problem to me is this is all nostalgia. We are trying to save a franchise that's literally dying. And all at this point we would be doing is putting it on a respirator and physically pumping the air for him because the respirator's not even plugged in anymore. And the reason I say that is because, you know, Toys R Us has lived through an era of Walmart and Target and if you're in Texas, HEB now, Best Buy. I mean, all these, there's a lot of competitors in this market. Now, yes, do they make up the majority of it? Hell yeah. Did they last longer than a lot of other toy stores? Hell yeah. Because look at KB Toys. Does anyone remember it? I'll wait here while you figure that out if you remember what the hell KB Toys is. And anyone born in the 90s? I can tell you right now you don't remember what KB Toys is. And they survived. They've thrived even. Especially with the Babies R Us, where a lot of people go for their baby registries. So, and let's face it, that's a market that's not going away because people are always being born and people are always dying. So if you get into one of those two businesses, I mean, you're set. And I know it's a morbid thought, and it's not a morbid thought at the same time, but as long as babies are being born, they have money. You know, they have a business going. And the reason I bring all this up is that this GoFundMe account, let's say it gets funded, they get the $1 billion, they buy the franchise, you know, the stores are already closing. What can you do? If those stores are all closed down, you're going to have to basically start from scratch and rebuild this franchise from the ground up into being the colossal toy store it was. And it could happen. It could. But how do you compete with Amazon and Walmart and Target and HEB? And let's not forget, now kids aren't going for the little Barbie dolls. Once they hit, I mean, my kiddo does. She's 8, about to be 8. But a lot of these people now are, once you hit I mean, hell, I've seen little 9-year-olds running around with tablets and talking about PlayStations and Xboxes and playing on them. I didn't touch anything like that till I was in the 3rd grade, and I touched a Super Nintendo. But even then, I didn't play a whole lot because I still had to do school. I mean, I'm seeing kids who are like, man, I stayed up all night playing, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Video games are not for kids that young. I mean, yes, sit there with your parents if they and chill with them and do their thing, but whatever. I'm not going to attention on that. But my point is, once we hit a certain age, guys, these little Barbie dolls, these little stuffed animals, they're no good to us anymore. We have to go to electronics. And Toys R Us has entered that market with the systems, but they don't have tablets, they don't have computers. And they slowly try to enter with the tablet market, with the console market, and they entered it, but it was never enough to keep them afloat. But I mean, that's their bread and butter, is the toys. But, once you hit, 12, 13, you're going to start wanting to go over to Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Sony. You're going to go for the electronics, the bigger things now. And that's just something they don't have. So, is it a dying franchise? Maybe. Could they have more? I mean, there's always a possibility of it coming back. There's always a possibility of revamping the store, the revamping how they handle it. Because maybe it was just bad banking. Maybe it was just bad accounting. Who knows? I mean, we don't know. They filed for bankruptcy about 5 years ago, and to hopefully restructure and get a new buyer, but they didn't. So, if these guys were so gun-ho about helping, why not try to enter the market when they were looking to consolidate their debt and revamp their way of doing everything? Who knows? So, I mean, that's another sad note. Like I said, the CEO, or not even CEO, the founder of Toys R Us did pass away on Thursday at 94. Looks like he just basically died of old age. But, I mean, it's one of those that makes you wonder, the moment his franchise is dead, he went too. And he was probably sad. He probably was heartbroken knowing that his franchise was going away. We've also gotten the most recent Deadpool 2 trailer, DP2, which it looks like they're trying to introduce X-Force. It's a cool little trailer. I really recommend watching it if you have. There's a lot of little teasers and little nods to everything in there, and they kind of poke fun of themselves, saying there's not going to be a 3rd film because you can never top the 2nd one. It's pretty funny. I really recommend it. I don't want to give much away on that, but I do recommend watching it. One of the last things I want to talk about, of course, is because, like I said, there's so much going on, guys. So much going on. Let me make sure it's already out. I know everywhere, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it is. So, Dragon Ball Super, episode 131, Farewell Goku, till we see you again. Oh my god, guys. If you've been following the Tournament of Power, this was the episode to watch. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. If you need to step away, mute the mic. I'll do like a little wave when I'm done talking about it, so no spoilers are given out. So I'll wait. Okay, you've been warned. If you're watching this part right now, I am going to be talking about Dragon Ball episode 131 of Super, just for a few minutes, just to be like, this needs to be talked about. Like I said, guys, anything and everything's talked about on this channel. A Way Out, hopefully, as well, guys. Before I go into it, A Way Out review, hopefully next week. On Friday, I'm buying the game. I have a few days to play it to see what you guys think. Dragon Ball Super 131. Tournament of Power comes to a close. We see the final fight between Jiren, Goku, Frieza, and number 17. So all of or Android 17, whatever you want to call them, all of them finally have that last kind of climactic battle, that last hoorah, you could say. Goku in 130 was laid out because he had entered Ultra Instinct. It took too much of a toll on his body and he went down. Frieza saved him. 17 backed him up. The fight is basically 17 and Frieza versus Jiren for a little while. The end, Jiren is about to be beaten, but he finds an inner strength. Now, the whole time they've talked about Jiren, and now if you've read the manga, you're going to know more about it than watching the show, but Jiren is a loner. He is very much all about power, and if you're not strong enough to fight, then you're just a weakling and need to be defeated. On that note, Jiren became weak because he was fighting so hard. He failed. He failed himself. But Toppa had faith in him, and Toppa decides to yell inspiration to him of like, you can do it, I'm your friend. And Jiren's like, dude, I fucking treated you like shit. And Toppa's like, I still care because I'm Toppa, the good guy, whatever you want to call him. And So he gets another like boost of energy, and he's about to beat 17, and he's about to beat Frieza when all of a sudden Goku gets back up. He's like, "You guys can't do this alone. I'm gonna help you. If we die, we all die trying," kind of thing. And so they hold off Jiren, and then you get a beautiful display of how well Frieza and Goku can fight together. They go up front starting to fight while 17 adds backup support. They start pounding and pounding on Jiren and beating them, and they finally start timing their moves together. You know, one goes high, one goes low, and it's so beautiful to watch this fight scene. In the end, they get eliminated, but they took Jiren down with them, leaving number 17 or Android 17 to win. And he was able to make his one wish using the, I don't know, if I can't remember if they're the Great Dragon Balls, the Ultra Dragon Balls, the Super Dragon Balls, whatever the hell they're called. And he's able to make his one wish. His one wish, of course, if you haven't muted me yet, hearing me talk about Dragon Ball Super, big spoiler right here. I'm gonna wait 2 seconds. 1, 2. He wishes for every universe that was wiped out to be restored. So after everyone's been eliminated and killed, he wishes everyone back, fulfilling a lot of promises made by Goku and Vegeta to the other universes. Koba, whatever his name is, his apprentice. How he's gonna see him again, kind of thing, and he wants to go meet the other Saiyans over on their universe. So I recommend finishing it up. Watch the credits. I'm not gonna give. There's another two big spoilers at this. Well, I'm not gonna give out. I want you to watch it to the bitter end. Watch through the credits. Don't fast forward through them until we see you again, Goku and Vegeta. December, the newest movie comes out. Supposedly, it's supposed to be a history of the Saiyans. The trailer I saw, though, doesn't seem like it's so much a history of the Saiyans, but another fight that Goku is going to have to overcome his next most powerful opponent, of course. That being said, check it out, guys. And on that note, I mean, I know we usually these shows for about an hour. These are the topics I kind of picked. I just want to touch on them and let you know. Like I said, some big gaming news. Supposedly Nintendo might be dropping off a Nintendo Pro. There's some rumors that some stuff might be happening, but worth our money or not, I don't know. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, listening to more things. I don't want to touch on it too much because I don't have a lot of information from what I've been reading up on it and trying to see what I can see. But, you know, talks of a PlayStation 5 are back around. Cyberpunk 2077, or Cyberpunk, I'm not even going to try the year because I'm going to butcher it again. Cyberpunk they've mentioned a few possibilities that the game will be on a next generation. I know with Cyberpunk we've been having a lot of rumors up and down of what's what, but to be honest, the fact is they are saying that it could be ready for this generation, and it might be, but it also might be ready for the next generation. Now, of course, the dev kits usually go out within about a year or two, possibly ahead of when they were planning on releasing these consoles. So that way these games can be in development, so on day one that new console hits, bam, we got X amount of games, and they're set and good to go. Cyberpunk might be one of those games that they're leading for. I honestly predict that we won't get any information about a PS5 on E3 in June. I think the most we will get is Sony saying they're going to release a PS5 by next year or the year after. I think they're going to tease it, but I don't think they're going to talk about it or show it. I really think it's too soon for a PS5, especially with the PlayStation 4 Pro coming out at the beginning of the year, as well as I believe it was the beginning of the year. God, my times are all off. I mean, the PlayStation 4 Pro hasn't been out too long, but your PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X have just released, which is making these console generations a little bit blurry with their lines. I think Xbox has something up their sleeve because they know they need to revamp. Xbox 361 original Xbox did well. 360 did amazing. Xbox One is lackluster. Now, the PlayStation, amazing. PlayStation 2, phenomenal. PlayStation 3, lackluster. PlayStation 4, amazing. I'm an Xbox fan, boy, don't get me wrong. But I will bow out when I know I need to bow out. PlayStation 4 did really well with its exclusives and its marketing for it. It's amazing. Who knows where PlayStation 5 is going to go, or an Xbox 2, Xbox 4? I mean, because this is going to be the fourth one that they've made. Fifth one, technically. 6 if you count that like weird Xbox Pro shit. Or Elite. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll just be the Xbox Infinity. There's your name, Xbox. Take it. I don't mind. Just put my name somewhere on it. Bash. I mean, that'd be cool. Xbox Infinity would be kind of a cool name for it. But, you know, guys, like, Xbox is talked about so much, and they're also talking about getting to, like, a streaming business using their Xbox Game Pass. So we'll see where they go as well, guys. On that note, a Way Out review hopefully this weekend, or this week on Friday, as well as Tuesday will be our streaming night. I don't know if we're going to stream Sea of Thieves. I've kind of gotten pissed off with it right now. All of you 4-player ships sitting at the outposts, camping them, while us 1 players or 2 players are trying to fucking cash in and we can't fight you. But guess what? I fucking murdered all of you guys. Yeah, you came back and murdered me, but I killed all of you once, at least. So I swear to God, if any of you saw Vash Stampede 66 and you tried to kill me or you killed me, I rammed the shit out of your boat afterwards if you're a 4-player group. Because I'm a jerk. You killed me once, and I was going to be a thorn in your side, and I made you leave that outpost because I was seriously not leaving. I was going to keep killing you, and you couldn't scuttle my boat because you guys couldn't hit worth shit with your cannonballs. As you can see, guys, I am really pissed off with Sea of Thieves. So either Sea of Thieves or 7 Days to Die, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, we have comic review with Kira. Why did I say Kira? Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I am sorry, Shield Maiden, you're probably going to stab me later. Wednesday's her reviews. Thursday, my rant. As you can see, I have some rants going on already. I'll have plenty of rants now for you guys. I should be good for Thursdays. Friday will be my random review day. Either if I don't have A Way Out reviewed by then, I have a board game ready to review for you guys. Saturday, I don't know if we're doing anything. Saturday we might have something planned. We'll talk to Shield and hopefully an announcement we've made later this week. Next week, I will not be doing my rant. I will not be doing my game review. I will be in Dallas. I will be shooting video for it and try to upload some of it while I can, guys. So hopefully you guys will be able to see some stuff. On that note, please like, please comment, please subscribe. If you're on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch. Follow Geeks of the Web, follow Vash Stampede 66, follow Shield Maiden SA on Twitch. On YouTube, like that channel button. On Facebook, like us, follow us. Let's get this going. Let's get this ball rolling, guys. Let's make this a way for all of us to weave together and all of us to get together. Y'all keep it geeky. And I can't remember Shield Maiden's quote, but, you know, something about flying a geek flag high. Just keep it going, guys.